Have you ever stepped into a place that seemed to hold secrets, waiting to be discovered? What if that place had a history of its own, a history that would never be forgotten? In a remote village, nestled between towering mountains, there stood an old crumbling house at the top of a hill. Its origins were unknown to anyone in the village. No one could remember who built it or when it was constructed. It had simply always been there, silently watching over the village. The locals avoided it, speaking about it only in whispers. They said the house carried memories, secrets of the past, secrets that refused to be forgotten. Over time, stories about the house grew, each more mysterious than the last. Some believed it was built on ancient land, while others thought it was the site of a great tragedy. There were rumors of strange happenings, how the house seemed to choose who could enter and who couldn't. Yet despite all the warnings, no one truly knew what lay inside. Jace, a young man who had just moved to the village, didn't believe in these stories. He was practical and logical, believing only in what he could see and touch. The villagers' tales were just that, tales. One evening while walking through the village, Jace saw the house from a distance. It stood still on the hill, its silhouette casting a long shadow as the sun dipped behind the mountains. Intrigued, Jace decided to visit it. He was determined to uncover the truth behind the stories, to see the house for himself. Entering the house, Jace was struck by its eerie stillness. The floor creaked beneath his feet, and the air felt heavy with dust. Old furniture, long forgotten, was scattered throughout the rooms, and pictures hung crookedly on the walls. Despite the house's derelict state, there was something oddly captivating about it. It felt as though time had stopped here, leaving everything suspended in the past. As he ventured deeper into the house, Jace began to feel an overwhelming sense of being watched. It wasn't fear, but something more, a connection to the place that he couldn't explain. His curiosity led him to a small back room, which appeared to be an old study or library. The shelves were filled with books, their spines cracked and pages yellowed with age. On the desk was an open book, and Jace felt an inexplicable urge to read it. The book was filled with strange notes, descriptions of the house and its former inhabitants. The more Jace read, the more he felt a sense of dread, yet fascination. The notes spoke of a family that had lived there long ago, but it wasn't a happy story. The family had suffered a great loss, and after that, they vanished. The house had stood empty for years, holding on to the memories of its past. One particular note caught Jace's attention. The house remembers everything. Every joy, every sorrow, every mistake, every regret. And it will make you remember too. The words sent a shiver down his spine. Jace began to understand the house's power, not in a supernatural way, but as a vessel of memories. The house was not haunted by ghosts or spirits, but by the emotions of those who had lived there. It carried their stories, their joys, and their tragedies. As Jace continued reading, he learned of the great tragedy that had befallen the family, a loss so profound that it changed the course of their lives forever. After that event, the family disappeared, and the house was left to stand as a silent witness to the passing of time. When Jace finally left the house, he wasn't the same person who had entered. The house hadn't taken anything from him, nor had it caused him harm. Instead, it had revealed something deeper, something about how the past never truly leaves us. The memories, the emotions, they stay with us, and sometimes they linger in the places we inhabit. Jace understood that the house wasn't just an old building. It was a keeper of memories, a place where time had stood still, where the past and present coexisted. It wasn't a haunted house, but rather a house that had never forgotten. If you're fascinated by stories of forgotten places and the mysteries they hold, subscribe for more tales from the past.